Hi, I'm Chef Jennifer Bajsel, and I'm also a member of Les Dames d'Escoffier. And today I'm happy to be partnering with the North Texas Food Bank, and we're going to make a white bean salad. So today we're going to be making a white bean salad. This is a wonderful dish that you can use as a side dish, you can use it for lunch, and you can also use it as a protein substitute for dinner. Easy peasy recipe. We're going to use canned white beans. You can also use dry beans. Two things to remember though, if you're using canned beans, make sure to rinse them in case they have any added salt content. And if you're using dry beans, you want to soak those overnight and then cook them according to package directions. So we're going to use some white beans, we're going to use some cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, some scallions, we're going to add a touch of feta, and we're going to use a lemon olive oil dressing. So just some really great flavors in a simple, easy recipe. So to start, let's cut our fruits and vegetables. So we're going to start with a cucumber. And I would just remove the ends. And you're going to want to just cut it down into easy, manageable sizes. I like the seeds. It's part of the nutritional content of the cucumber, but certainly if you wanted to remove the seeds, you could take a spoon and just scoop them out this way. But I'm just going to cut these into bite-sized pieces. And when you're doing anything like a salad or any type of recipe, when you cut your items, you want to kind of try to make them uniform in size. So we'll just do some small dices. We'll add those to our mixing bowl. Okay, next we're going to cut the cherry tomatoes, and these are just going to be halved. I've seen people try to use like they'll put two plates and then try to cut them all at once. That's never worked for me, so I just like to do it by hand. And make sure too that you rinse off your fruits and vegetables when you get them from the grocery store. For several reasons. There might be pesticides, but also I've seen, a cucumber fall on the floor before and then people put it back on the bin. So just make sure you always wash your fruits and vegetables. All right, so we've cut our cucumbers and our tomatoes. We're gonna add our white beans. Today I am using a cannelli bean, but you could use any type of white bean. And if you really wanna have some fun, you could really substitute any type of bean. You could put black beans, you could put kidney beans, chickpeas, AKA garbanzo beans, anything that you like to make this recipe your own. Remember, recipes are guidelines, but this is great for fiber content, this is great for protein content, so that's the one nice thing about using beans in your recipe. You get nutritional value without having to add, let's say, meat protein. We'll add all beans. Okay, I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil. And again, you could use olive oil, avocado oil, whatever you have in your pantry. Just enough to coat it. We're gonna add a little bit of salt. So because we're adding some feta, this has a salty flavor to it, so you don't need to add a lot of salt. Salt is wonderful for magnifying the flavors of the ingredients that are in your dish. It's not meant to make the dish salty, so a little goes a long way. So we're just gonna add a couple pinches. I'm gonna add some black pepper. I like pepper. And you could substitute the black pepper for crushed red pepper, whatever flavors that you like. This would be, you could add some oregano to this, kind of bring out those Mediterranean flavors if you wanted to. So play around with the spices that you have in your pantry. So we've added our salt, pepper, our olive oil, lemon zest. We're gonna do lemon zest and juice, and it's okay if you don't have a microplane. If you don't have a microplane at home, just use like a cheese grater, would work fine. But we're just gonna take a little bit of that lemon peel, and you don't wanna get too far down on the lemon because the white part that's underneath the skin can tend to be bitter. So we're just getting a little bit of that rind off of there. And then so we're not wasting the lemon, we're gonna actually use it for the juice in it as well. And yes, this is how I have a juicer, but you can do it this way too. I'm gonna add a little bit of the feta. And then, not to forget, I do have some scallions to add to it. You could do scallions, you could do red onions. Again, make this your own. And I like to use both the white and the green part of the onion. All right, we're just gonna give this a toss, and that's it, that's the salad. Now I will tell you that the longer you let this sit, the more flavor will develop. So I would make this at least 30 minutes in advance to let it sit, but you could let it sit overnight and really let that lemon and the garlic flavor develop, and it will taste just that much better. Isn't that a beautiful salad?